Before we get into this very important lecture, I just want to remind everyone to make sure you mark your calendar for Saturday, March the 2nd. I'm going to do another powerful live stream lecture beginning at 11 o'clock from 11 to 12. And the focus of that lecture is the legal process that must occur before you submit any type of manuscript to any publisher. So tune in on that lecture. And I want to just thank all of my supporters and my subscribers, my members, my sponsors. You know, I got up this morning and my YouTube channel has reached well over 197 plus thousand subscribers. And I'm on the road to attain my first 200,000 subscribers. But in reality, you know, I just updated a couple of things on my about section on my YouTube channel. Really, to be honest with you, from a strategy and strategic and business standpoint, you know, I'm on the road to limitless, skyless opportunities for my brand, my company, and my YouTube channel. So with that being said, the focus of this lecture is going to be financial health. You know, this is one of my favorite topics because financial health really does tie, first of all, into the core concept of my powerful book, Awake Financial Freedom, that hit all major bookstores worldwide over 2 years ago. In talking about finances and financial also is the core concept of my YouTube channel. You know, yeah, I may talk about other educational and motivational inspiring topics and may do travel blogs and coffee specialty drinks, but the core primary foundation in the concept of my YouTube channel is that money piece, that finances, and etc. It ties into my company in terms of what I do under my company, Patterson Associates Resource Center. So this really is one of my favorite topics. So when I say financial health, I'm talking about health in many areas, you know, in terms of your credit score, your financial portfolio, your debt to income ratio, your income, all of that ties in to your financial health. You know, building your emergency savings account, all of that ties into financial health, because one of the motivating driving forces that led me to write my book, Awake Financial Freedom, and I talk about this in my book, is from 2007 to 2012, Marie Holiday was living in financial destruction. I did not have one penny to my name, but I was getting up and going to work every day. No one could ever told me that I would have been positioned myself. I fully retired September 2023, years early, and no one could have ever told me that could have been possible. But the driving force, the catalyst to allowing that to happen is when I was living in that financial destruction. So what I'm gonna do in terms of when I talk about this financial health, I tell anybody, you know, and I'm gonna get some really good valuable information, because financial health also ties into monitoring your financial health on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a daily basis. So I'm always, as a tool and resource, I'm always going in my account on Credit Karma. Just one tool that I use to check, get valuable information on your financial health. For example, your credit factor. And anybody can go to their account in Credit Karma, and I'm gonna tell you one thing, they'll let you know in this powerful resource, green dot means that you have excellent credit health. A yellow dot indicating in your account in any specific area means your credit financial health is fair. And a red dot in any specific area means your financial health needs work. So when we're talking about credit factor, and I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, when I was in my financial destruction, and I talk about this in my book, I was drowning in credit card debt. Now I've been looking good financially since 2012. I don't use credit cards in any shape, form, or fashion. That's one of the reasons I talk about and I say you gotta have that emergency savings account. But I'm gonna look at and talk about in terms of credit factors coming from the experts. It talks about credit factors They look into your credit card use and payment history. And you can improve those factors in many ways, and do what works for you. But there were some specific strategies I did when I was in my financial destruction from 27 to 2012 in terms of one of the game plans I did. I just got rid of and paid off all my credit cards, and I talk about some specific steps I did to raise my credit score from a 340 to well over 800. And I did not learn this from college. There were some deliberate steps that I did to raise that credit score, and the rest is history. So it talks about that. It also talks about credit card usage is another important factor that has impact on your credit health. But again, I don't do credit cards, not anymore. But it talks about credit card use matters most for each individual card. The average use across all cards is important. According from the experts, a person needs to try to stay under 30%. And remember, you don't need to carry any credit card debt to build your credit. And that is so true, because a lot of people think, and I can attest to this, you do not need to have a credit card to build your credit. I hadn't owned a credit card in years, and my credit score has been rising and rising. 800, 820, 830, 850, and I ain't owned a credit card in years. So don't believe that myth that you need to own a credit card to build your credit score. And I talk about that in my book. So, but if you got a credit card, follow those tips and strategies and etc. Also, another important factor in terms of your financial health, in terms of derogatory marks. If you have a collection, since debt collectors need to have proof that their information is correct, you should dispute a collection. But if you know you got a debt and you know it's yours, you're going to have to come up with a game plan to deal with that debt. Because financial freedom, I don't care how much money you make per week, per month, per year, if your debt far exceeds your income, you in trouble. It's about who do you owe, not about really how much you make. Who do you owe? How does your debt to income ratio look? And that's a real big factor that has an impact on your financial health. I had a casual conversation with a person the other week, and I couldn't believe it. This individual told, because people, for whatever reason, self-disclose information to me. This individual told me his monthly debt is $10,000 plus. I could not wrap my mind around that. My debt to income ratio is so phenomenal. I'm in a position where I can reinvest 90% of my retirement check. Because my bills are so low, I can literally, I'm in a position to reinvest 90% of my income. So although I'm getting a retirement check, I'm turning right around and build my portfolio to set up another retirement account because my debt is low. But I know many people who, whatever their retirement income is, when the money comes, they got mortgage to pay, or rent to pay, a car note to pay, a school loan to pay, credit cards to pay, furniture bill to pay. So it basically, your bills are high. It's not about what you make, it's who do you owe. And I'm here to tell you. Another thing that has a direct impact on your credit, your financial health is when you're talking about those debt collectors, you have a right, you have rights. Debt collectors can't keep calling you. But again, I'm gonna keep this thing real. You know who you owe. You know who you owe. And one of the powerful recommendations I tell a person, because that's one of the things I did back in 2007 to 2012. The first thing I did was got my credit reports from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And when I looked at that financial destruction, yeah, it was mine. All that debt was mine. But it's still real good to get the information so you can have a long, hard look at your debt. So That's another contributing factor that has a direct impact on your financial health. If your debt is so high against your income, you're going to have to come up with a game plan to decrease your debt, to decrease your debt, to decrease your debt to the point where you got more disposable income to increase your retirement, your financial portfolio, emergency savings account, and etc. They didn't teach me none of this in college. I got 2 master's degrees. Only thing college does is teach you how to get in debt, credit card debt, school loan debt. I ain't learned none of this in college. It took me going through financial destruction and having a spiritual awakening. There you go. I had a spiritual awakening, and God gave me the skills to master my money, to control my money. And I talk about that testimony in my book. If you have not read this book, you know, I had to have a spiritual awakening, and the rest is history. Because again, it's not about what you make. It's about who you owe. All the bills I have in the world is less than $500 a month. So that means I got all of that retirement income from my company, income from YouTube. I turn around and reinvest it. But it took me going through financial destruction and having that spiritual awakening with God to write this book. This is a powerful testimony. This powerful testimony, sometimes I use my own book as a resource to maintain my financial health. When I read through some of these chapters, it gives me chills because nobody could ever told me. I'm telling you, I didn't have 1 cent to my name, not 1 penny to my name. This is a powerful tool. College ain't teach me none of this. God gave me the skills to write this powerful testimony. This is the core concept of my channel. The core concept of my book. It ties into my brand, my company, Paris. And so I'm telling you, this thing is real because you got people right now who are drowning in a sea of debt, you know, stressed out because of debt, committing suicide because of debt. There is an answer, and I'm here to tell you. And as I look at this powerful resource, I'm literally looking in my Credit Karma under my portal, under my account. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a powerful thing to see green lights everywhere. All through it, green lights. And as I move through this journey, so I gave some information on debt collectors. That's the credit. Now let's take a look at in terms of, it literally talks about your debt to income ratio. When it goes to my debt to income ratio, it literally shows 0. I don't owe nobody. 0. Because typically on a person's credit report, it may have stuff like your mortgage, school loan, car note, credit card bill, something on it. I see 0. So my light green. And I'm telling you, no one could have told me that I would have had debt of 0 for years. 0. So that means that frees me up to have more disposable income to put in my emergency savings account, invest into more retirements, increase my portfolio, travel, and smell the roses. I'm here to tell you, they did not teach me this in college. They did not teach me this in the military. It took me going through serious financial destruction, got tired of living from paycheck to paycheck, and I can remember the very day I had that spiritual awakening. I had a 24 battle with God, trying to negotiate with God. God said, let me show you something. Trust me and follow my path. And I'm telling you, the rest is history. Also, when you're looking into this here, it'll give you your debt to income ratio. It's going to either be green, which is great, yellow, fair, red, needs work. So then it's just unbelievable. Your debt to income ratio, the lower you get that, the lower you get that debt, that's like giving yourself a raise. There you go. You ain't got to try to climb the corporate ladder. I paid my mortgage off 20 years early after I had that spiritual battle with God. So the lower your debt is, then say for example, if your mortgage is $1,200 a month or $2,000 a month or whatever. So if you now eliminate that debt, you take that same money that you would have been paying against your mortgage, now invest it into your retirement. I mean, it sounds simple, but I'm telling you, you got to be internally driven to make this thing happen. So now 0, 0, 0 debt to income ratio. And we're going to move on because your debt to income ratio, to me, coming from Marie Holiday, is power. I know people making 6 figures. I know people making $200,000 and $300,000 a year right now. But if a $400 emergency was to occur, they couldn't pay it. Something is wrong. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong, because I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia. What they're doing is they're living above their means. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're living $1 million a year lifestyle, but you're only making $300 a year. Something is wrong with that picture. You know, I know people making $40,000 a year in zero debt. So now they're able to reinvest over 90% of that $40,000, and that's how you build wealth. That's the secret right there. It's not about what you make. It's about, do you have the skills to master your money? That's it right there. Do you have the skills to control your money, to master your money, to invest your money, to eliminate debt? And I'm telling you, if you really embrace that with your mindset, that's the secret right there. So now, as we also continue to talk about your financial health, they also talk about, as we look dove deep and talk about, there you go, property. Well, since I paid off my mortgage, I don't owe nobody. So now it shows that I have 100% of equity in property that I own. So now we're talking about assets that ties into building generational wealth. And I'm here to tell you, I'm telling you, it's about your debt to income ratio. Because my goal, even before I set for myself, before I retire, I said I want to be in a position where I can reinvest 100% of my retirement income in whatever money I make under my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center, revenue from my sales of my book, my royalty income from our publishing company and YouTube. That's just more investment money. But I'm telling you, that is the secret right there. The debt to income ratio, everything that I just talked about ties into your financial health. I'm going to say this again. I know people making 6 figures, and if a $400 emergency was to occur, they literally would be stressed out and they could not handle a $400 emergency. And when people tell me that, first thing I tell them is read my resource. It is thought-provoking. It will move you to do something, because nobody, my financial history was horrible. I'm telling you, from 2007 to 2012, and I had that spiritual awakening in 2012. From that time frame, I even got personal friends who've been knowing me for 30 years, 15 years. When they read this powerful testimony, they called me up and they said they could not believe this was me. I couldn't believe it was me, because they saw me in a different light. But I'm telling you, you have a lot of people struggling financially in secrecy. You know, or they trying to keep up with that image, living that fake lifestyle, but in reality, they drowning in a sea of debt. Bill collectors hitting them left and right, because they're too busy trying to keep up with the Joneses, or everybody's situation is different. But I'm telling you, at a certain point, I got tired of living like that. I got tired of living from paycheck to paycheck. I got tired of living in financial destruction. I'm here to tell you. So I'm telling you, this book here is what the foundation, the core concept of my channel is right here. You know, I'm a licensed therapist. I may do other topics on motivation, interviewing, substance abuse, relapse prevention, how to, you know, I may do various other topics, but I'm going to always revisit the concept, the driving force of my YouTube channel. This is real talk. That's right. I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to give it to you real when you come to my channel, because my goal, whether I do a topic on a live footage when I went to Cairo, Egypt, or I may do a coffee upload with my specialist talk, or talk about topics like this, you're going to walk away gaining something, information of value. And I'm here to tell you, that's what it's all about. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all got something out of this. Share this on your community wall, because I'm here to tell you, you got people right now on jobs, communities, people who may be listening to this live stream, family members who are secretly drowning in a sea of debt. Hate to go to the mailbox, you know, late notices, overdraft in their bank accounts, 2 months behind in their car note, about to be evicted, don't know how to feed their kids, don't know where the money's gonna come from. This is real topic, but in most cases, you know, people just really need to, first of all, sit down, take a good hard look at the situation, get all your credit reports, and come clean and be honest with yourself. Because if I can come out of it, and I'm telling you, my financial life was messed up beyond messed up. If I can rise above my ashes of self-destruction, anybody can do it, and I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, again, mark your calendar for Saturday, March 2nd, 2024, 11 o'clock. I'm going to be ready to get down to business. And that's all I have. Simplify, Simple Fidelis, and I want to leave you in the care of your own conscience. I appreciate all my supporters chiming in. Y'all know how I do it. I'm going to acknowledge my viewers who are chiming in, but one of my styles, I do not go back and forth and dialogue in the comment. That'll slow me down on my deliverance. But I do want to acknowledge and thank all of my viewers for listening in. Share this information, and that's all I have. Simplify, Simple Fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience.